If you've ever felt like you're working harder than everyone around you, maybe longer hours, more effort, more pressure, but somehow it still feels harder than it should, then this video is for you. Because working smarter isn't about hacks, it's not about tools or grinding harder. It's about habits. And I know this because I've been in business for over 30 years. And my brands have generated nearly $2 billion in revenue. And I'm blessed to work alongside some of the titans, some of the smartest people in the world. Heck, Tony Robbins is my partner. I get to learn so much. And the people who succeed long-term aren't trying harder. They're operating differently. I want to show you the 3 habits behind them. Now stay with me, because the third one is the reason effort stops turning into progress, and almost nobody sees it coming. Habit number 1. Become a distraction assassin. I know that's pretty aggressive, but the most successful people I know are ruthlessly focused. They design their life to eliminate distractions. Let me say this clearly. Most people don't have an effort problem. They have a distraction problem. Emails, notifications, meetings. Got a quick question for you. All of it feels productive. All of it creates motion, but motion is not progress. I've watched incredibly capable people exhaust themselves, not because they weren't disciplined, but because they weren't available to absolutely everyone. They spent their day reacting instead of choosing. Here's the shift high performers make that you can do too. They decide in advance what matters, what's important, and they protect it like it's non-negotiable. Before the day starts, they ask one question. If I could move only one thing forward today, what would actually make the biggest difference? What would overcome the biggest constraint? That question cuts through the noise instantly. Not what's loud, not what's urgent, but what creates leverage. Because focus isn't about doing more. It's about doing fewer things on purpose. And here's the best part most people miss. Every time you switch tasks, you burn mental energy. Each switch costs you clarity. And by the end of the day, you feel busy but not effective. High performers design their days around depth, not responsiveness. Let's make this real. Grab a pen, open your notes, write down one task that if done consistently this week would actually move your business or your life forward. Not 10, not 5, just one. Now decide when you'll work on it. Choose the same time block each day where you can give it your full focus, your full attention. No phone, no email, no notifications. And commit to it for at least 5 days in a row. Not forever, just 1 week. And at the end of the week, review. What moved forward? What felt easier? What didn't matter as much as you thought it did? Did that one focus block create more progress than a full day of reacting? And here's the win most people don't expect. You don't just gain progress, you get clarity, you get momentum, you get proof that focus works. That's when focus stops being something you try to have and starts becoming a system you can rely on. Not dependent on motivation, not dependent on mood, not dependent on inspiration. Okay, so relentlessly focus, but what's the next step to becoming outrageously effective? That leads us into habit number 2, become a decision-making machine. The most successful people I know have mastered one underrated skill. They're decisive. Not reckless, not impulsive, decisive. They understand something most people don't. Wasted time costs you more than being wrong. So they don't wait for the perfect clarity, the perfect certainty before they move. They know which questions to ask to get enough clarity to move forward, to act. And then they trust themselves to handle it if it goes wrong. You see, most entrepreneurs think they're being strategic by waiting for more clarity, waiting for more confidence, but they're not being strategic. They're just stalling. And while they're waiting, someone else with half the experience decides faster and moves ahead of you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The cost of indecision is invisible. Well, until it isn't. You see, you don't feel it in the moment. You feel it later, when you realize how long you've been circling the same ideas. That's why entrepreneurs don't ask, what if it fails? They ask, what is the cost of this to me every week if I don't decide? That question changes everything, because now the risk isn't action, the risk is in the delay. Most people only calculate the downside risk, but smart entrepreneurs calculate the delay cost. They understand this. An offer can be changed, a price can be adjusted, a funnel can be rebuilt, a piece of content, well, it can be recreated, but the time you lose, you don't get that back. Movement is what compounds into momentum, And hesitation compounds too, just in the wrong direction. Here's what I've learned watching successful people up close. They don't wait to feel ready. They just move. That's how they build the confidence they need to make fast decisions. Let's apply this immediately. Write down 3 decisions you've been avoiding. Be honest. Now, next to each one, answer this question. What is this costing me every week because I'm not deciding? Be specific. Is it costing you momentum, energy, clarity? Now pick one from the list and make a decision on how you will move. Not perfectly, just forward. Then give yourself a 7-day review window. And at the end of the week, ask, what did I learn? What moved forward? What would I adjust? That's the data you need to create momentum. Let me say this again. The difference between people who win and people who stall isn't intelligence. It's decision speed. Slow decisions feel safe in the moment, but they quietly compound into missed years. Smart entrepreneurs don't wait to feel certain. They decide, they adjust, and then they move again. It's not reckless. It's how progress is built. And once you're focused and deciding faster, there's one final trap that takes people out: relying on your own mind. And that leads us to habit number 3. Become obsessed with building systems. Without this habit, you're quietly destroying your own progress. Because willpower is not a strategy, it's a liability. And this might sound counterintuitive, but the best entrepreneurs I've worked with try to use their brains as little as possible for repetitive decisions. Most early stage entrepreneurs believe, discipline is the answer. So they push harder, they work longer, they promise themselves they'll lock in, they'll do it even better tomorrow. But life always shows up, doesn't it? Willpower runs out, and everything can eventually just collapse. That's why effort eventually stops translating into results. Here's the real difference. Average entrepreneurs ask, how do I try harder? Entrepreneurs who scale ask, how do I remove friction, eliminate decisions, and make the right behavior automatic? They don't rely on motivation. They design their environment so consistency happens by default. Their calendars become systems. Processes replace memory. Habits replace motivation. If your business only works when you're pushing, you don't own a business, you own a job. Systems are what create leverage. They allow progress without constant pressure. And they don't need to be complicated, they just need to exist. We already talked about this in habit number 1, doing your most important task at the same time every day with 0 distractions. That's a system. It's a low lift. It's repeatable, and it makes you dangerously more effective and efficient. If you want to take this further, here's the simplest filter I know. Look at everything you do in a week and ask, can this be eliminated, automated, delegated, or scheduled? Maybe your entire week of content gets done in a 30-minute block. Maybe all your meals get handled on Sunday instead of stealing time every night. Whatever fills your week, there are tasks that don't deserve daily attention. Batch them, systemize them, stop negotiating with them. For example, I wear the same black t-shirt most every single day, not because it's a style choice, because it removes decisions. And every decision I don't have to make frees up more energy and more time for the things that actually matter. My family, my business, my future. That's the point. So identify the repeatable tasks quietly draining your time and your attention. Eliminate them, automate them, or schedule them away. Let me leave you with this. High performers protect their focus. They decide faster, and they build systems instead of relying on willpower. Working smarter isn't about doing less. It's about building standards for your future so you can sustain them. Pick one habit from this video and apply it today, because when your habits change, your effort finally starts working for you, not against you.